Hello everyone and welcome to question 62 of the Q&A series. There's a popular saying in education that the best way of teaching someone is to teach them to fish. What instrumental technical skills must a musician learn to be able to fish effectively on their own? So yes, this quote, the full quote is, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you can feed him for a lifetime. So Pagliaro, I hope that's how his name is said, Michael J. Pagliaro, in fact, has this book called The Instrumental Music Director's Guide to Comprehensive Program Development. And I found this and I would now really like to read it. So I guess I'll have to purchase it at some point and give it a read. But he says in chapter 3 of his book, he actually opens that chapter with this quote and goes on to talk about it in context of teaching stringed instruments, woodwind instruments, brass instruments, etc. And he says this, he says, students who learn that an action can achieve a result come to realise that when one operates a key, valve, slide or string in a certain way, an action, a particular note occurs, the result. If the action is the correct fingering, the result is the desired note. So when a student learns by deduction rather than instruction, they gain better control over their instrument. They learn cause and effect. Just to paraphrase what he said after that. So I guess learning using deduction will allow you to learn the instrument or instruments far better than having someone tell you exactly what you should play, which actually is very eye-opening to me. It's not something I've ever really came across, I guess. I have personally sort of experimented playing instruments and sort of learnt that way, but I've not really done that in my playing, or teaching, should I say, which, it's interesting. I need to give this book a read and see if this will actually impact my teaching. Maybe not for everyone, because again, people are different. Not everyone will learn that way. But maybe this is the way to change teaching. It's a movement we can change. But yeah, and I guess in another way, this could require a lot of time and patience, particularly with younger students, because it might take them a while to make the connections between, these actions and results, and learning by deduction rather than just being told, oh, this is a B, this is an A, etc. And I often find, not to go too far away from the point, but I often find with teaching that parents expect a certain amount from their children when they're learning instruments. They want to know that their money is being well spent, I guess. And I guess wouldn't you, really? But it's more than just knowing the notes and being able to play a tune within so many weeks of learning the instrument, or being able to play like hands together on the piano. It would, if they were a bit more patient and understood that their child was learning things by deduction rather than instruction, then the payoff later down the line would be far greater, and it's more like they need to see the results now rather than later. So that's something where we're at today, and that, again, probably something that needs to change, right? But yeah, and really, I guess with then good ears and knowledge of the instrument, you have been taught to fish. Just to think about it. So yeah, there's not much more in that book that I can see anyway online. There's limited access to it at the moment, but I will put the book to credited in the description of the video, so you'll be able to have a look yourself at it. But yeah, really, I guess working the instrument out, which I think this particular student that I'm addressing right now about this question, but obviously I'm addressing the whole world if they want to watch this video, he does have a good knowledge of this instrument. You can learn a lot by just playing around the notes, or trying, if there's a melody in your head, just to stick with Christmas, I guess, Jingle Bells, you could try and work that out on the ukulele for yourself without reading tab or music, and that will get you much more knowledge around the instrument than a lot of other practices will. Hope that answers your question. Cheers, bye.